Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Roger Schonfeld. I'm the director of the Library and Scholarly Communication Program at Ithaca SNR. And I was very honored to be invited to chair a panel on discovery and access for the meeting today. It was so exciting to hear from Anurag just a few minutes ago about so many of the important changes that have taken place in the scholarly communications ecosystem over the past decade or two. It was really a great reminder of the progress that has been made, the transformations that have taken place. And it was great to hear about the role that Google Scholar has played. Google Scholar, of course, being such a vital tool for discoverability for the content of many scientific publishers in particular. We have such a complex and interesting environment for the discoverability of scholarly content and the access to scholarly content. And the panel that I've put together today is going to explore these issues from a number of different perspectives. Discoverability matters, I'm going to assert, to every scholarly publisher because the purpose of publishing is to connect scholarship with its readers, its users. Whether you generate revenues as a publisher, whether you generate revenues from libraries, from end users, or from authors, more usage means more value for all parties. Publishers face the challenge today of having an explosion of potential starting points for scholarly research. Anurag showed us some of the ways that transformation has happened, but as you all know, from footnotes to discovery services, from recommendation systems and anticipatory tools, and of course to Google Scholar, which of these should you as a publisher be working with, and to what extent and in what ways? And yet discovery is only one part of the process that results in usage of your content, of your publications. The other part is delivering the user to be able to access the book or the article or the data set or the archival record. And less than a handful today, less than a handful of scholarly publishers provide access to content through a platform that they control themselves, that they control completely themselves. And even the content that those publishers issue is provided for delivery through a variety of secondary access channels, such as EBSCO or Gale, ProQuest, PubMed Central, JSTOR, and a variety of other types of repositories. And for smaller publishers, in addition to these secondary channels, your primary channels are also typically controlled by another publisher or provided by a vendor, such as Silverchair or Highwire or Adapon. And so the complexity of the ecosystem that we're all operating in today is really something that we want to be mindful of. Discovery and delivery is each a morass of complexity, but one that the publishers are learning to navigate successfully in this fast-changing environment where user expectations are set by reference to the consumer internet providers and not by the marginal improvements that we are so proud of making to our services in the scholarly community. So I have an absolutely stellar panel, a panel of some of the, I think we're going to call them the superheroes of discovery. Really three of the leading minds on the topic of discovery and discoverability from the perspective of users. So let me just do a brief introduction of each in the order that they'll be speaking. Letty Conrad is the Executive Manager for Product Analysis at Sage Publications, where she has spearheaded much of the discoverability strategy for Sage products and platforms in recent years. Deirdre Costello, who's a librarian by training, is the Senior User Experience Researcher at EBSCO, where she's examining user practices and behaviors with reference to a number of potential EBSCO products, including both content platforms and discovery services. And Lisa Hinchliffe, a librarian and professor at the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign, has spearheaded much of that great research library's discovery strategy over the past decade. All three of these individuals are deeply focused on understanding user practices and needs and improving the researcher and learner experience. And we really want to bring to you some of what we're learning from the variety of different perspectives, and I think the important complementary different perspectives that this panel panel has to offer. So, so without further ado, Letty will get started. Thank you.